Alright guys, welcome to another Humble review video. This time it is the Humble monthly bundle. Now before I start, I'm gonna basically say just a couple of things about this. Now, one thing I didn't realise, and I sort of should have realised about this sort of the monthly bundle, is that this is basically a video of me saying here's what you could have had if you actually subscribed to it before now. Now, this is kind of a, I suppose in a way, a nasty sort of way of saying, haha, I got these games, you didn't, because I subscribed before you did. That's not my intention at all. My intention is to sort of show you that for the $12 a month that you spend on this game, this sort of bundle, this is what you get each and every month. Now, obviously, if you were to subscribe now, you wouldn't get what you're about to see. You would get next month's bundle. So I guess in a way what I'm trying to sort of say is, look, if you think that it's not worth me, if it's not worth me doing this video, because in a sense I'm basically showing you the stuff that you've missed out on, then by all means tell me, because then I'll stop making this video. There's no point me sort of saying here's what you could have had you done had you subscribed before now. So in a sense that's what it is, and you know, at the end of the day, I'm basically just trying to sort of give an opinion of whether it's worthwhile subscribing to. I'm not sort of saying you'll benefit greatly from this. Humble don't endorse me in any way or capacity. This is completely a neutral sort of review and an opinion of what this bundle entails and whether it's worthwhile going for. Now, I personally would say that I was actually turned off the idea initially. I don't like the idea of spending money for something I don't know that I'm going to necessarily like. Now, I have to say that for the past, since they actually started doing this Humble monthly bundle thing, I've been actually quite impressed with it. I'm actually quite happy with what has been on offer since they started doing it. Yeah, there's games that you are not going to play, it's things that you don't really want necessarily, but at the end of the day, it's not like a subscription service. You don't have to, you can cancel at any time. You don't lose access to the games you've already got. You know, they don't revoke the Steam keys or anything else like that. So it's, in a sense, not a good deal. It's not like, you know, with the Origin thing that's come out recently for the where you subscribe and you get access to all the games. You know, as soon as you cancel that, you effectively lose access to those games. So in that sense, this is quite a good deal from my perspective anyway. So that's basically what I'm saying about this video, is that if it's not worth me doing, I won't do it. I'm not after people saying, oh, please do it, please do it. I'm after people sort of saying whether it's a good idea, whether it makes sense to do it, because obviously at the end of the day, I'm not going to do something that's going to annoy people. I'd be annoyed if I was seeing a video of someone saying, look at all these games I got because I subscribed to Humble monthly and you didn't. You know. Anyway, I'm repeating myself, so I'm going to cut this crap out and everything. So before we start, the games pretty much all have Steam keys, so I'm comparing them to what's on Steam currently, not what's on Humble. I will also point out actually that one extra benefit that they've recently done is that you get 10% off if you do subscribe to Humble monthly of all Humble store purchases. If you cast your mind back to like 2 weeks ago, was it, when Outlast, was it a week ago, when Outlast came in the Humble bundle, and I said, right, I'm going to go buy the DLC for it because you got an 80% voucher for it. It's stacked, so I got 80% off plus another 10% of that overall price. Yeah, it was a couple of pennies, but at the end of the day, it saved me a little bit more money. So that's actually quite another useful benefit that you may or may not want to make use of. It's entirely up to you in that sort of sense. Now, what was I supposed to say? Yeah, everything's on Steam. Prices are in pounds, and I'm just about to do the thing I was supposed to do beforehand. So $12 to pounds is, so it's about £8.43 according to Google. So just to give you an idea, is that for about £8.50, this is what we got, what's in the bundle, and I'll give you the pound equivalent so you can actually see how much of a good deal it actually is. Okay, Now I've talked for nearly 5 minutes about rubbish. Let's get on with the review, shall we? So straight off, we'll just scroll down here because that's the introduction video. Straight off. Now the actual sort of tantalizing thing, the thing they dangled in front of you as to make you sort of buy the bundle, was Ark. Ark, whatever it was called, Ark something whether. Yeah, Ark Survival Evolved. That's it. So I'll talk about that in a minute. The first thing that you will have seen that we saw in the bundle, sorry, is Wasteland 2 Director's Cut. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's essentially a what's the best for the word? It's a turn-based, squad-based RPG with tactical combat and stuff like that. It's basically what would happen if you crossed XCOM with Fallout. It's this. Now, it is obviously a sequel. It's a sequel to a game that came out in 1988, way before Fallout, way before all that kind of things. I mean, Fallout was actually a spiritual successor to this game. A lot of people sort of say, what's this and that and everything. So, you know, you can argue which one came first, but essentially it was a game that was released in the late 80s, and it has the same sort of elements as what Fallout does. And that is a nuclear apocalypse, you know, you're trying to survive, blah, 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 blah. It's been well received. It's got some great reviews for it. It's been critically acclaimed through several magazines. It's essentially, you know, a great game for what it is. It's currently $29.99. So it's instantaneously, money-wise, it's worth the money, you know. I've actually been watching this game, so it's one that I'm actually quite interested in. I might actually end up playing it one day, sooner or later, depending on how the releases this year go. So definitely a worthwhile looking out for it. Now, you can even see the review things. I didn't even see them then. Grav. Now, Grav, the reviews for this in Steam especially are quite mixed. It's an early access survival game with an open world where you can build bases, explore planets, hunt alien creatures. But the general sort of problems are people are complaining about the fact that you have to do lots of grinding. There's lots of bugs and some unfair elements to do with resource gathering and so on and so forth. It's currently priced at $14.99. I think I said that, didn't I? I'm losing track of what I'm saying. Again, it's another early access game. It might be one to watch. It's been in development for over a year or so. I don't know. It sounds like it's trying to be another survival open world game. But there's so many out there, and it might be worth just a quick look at. Who knows? You know, to be honest, that kind of game doesn't encourage me. It depends how good the single player sort of experience, if the story based sort of stuff is. It is obviously multiplayer as well, but I don't know. Maybe something to look at later on. Moving straight along, we have a game that I've heard of, never really sort of paid much attention to it, called Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. It's the third in a series of Shantae games. It's a sort of Metroidvania game with a 2D platformer. It's kind of an odd sort of game. So she attacks enemies with her hair. You know, interesting mechanic. But it's got some great reviews. The graphics are classic looking, sort of 16-bit, 8-bit, 16-bit game. It definitely looks like it plays quite nicely. It's sort of Metal Slug-esque looking kind of game. Worthwhile looking at. Why not? Certainly for the price, because it's $14.99 on Steam. It's definitely worth a look. Now, a game that I've been avoiding. For a variety of reasons. The main one is that I'm not kind of into these kind of oddball games. And by oddball games, I mean games that are designed to be extremely silly anyway. Now, I did try Goat Simulator. It's actually part of my Cosmo Tries Games series. And yeah, it was a bit of fun. Let's put it that way. It is exactly what it says on the tin. It's a bit of fun. It's a bit of stupidity trying to be generally sort of a game, trying to be a game. And that's exactly what I Am Bread is. You basically control a slice of bread, trying to be come toast. You can walk around the kitchen and everything, do all the kinds of different silly things. It's worth $9.99. It might be worth a play just for the sheer hell of it. It has got lots of DLC stuff and combination things with Goat Simulator, and recently, oh, it's gone on my head. Payday 2. That's it. Got it in the end. I was thinking of that, those masks and everything. So it's quite popular. Let's put it that way. It's got some very positive reviews. It's also got some really stupid reviews. So I wouldn't necessarily buy the bundle for this, but hey, I'm up for anything, me. Now, something I've never heard of: Sentinels of the Multiverse, the video game. Essentially, it's a card game, an indie card game where you fight heroes. Heroes fight each other in sort of a comic book hero-esque appearance. There's not much more I can say. That it is well received. There's lots of people praising it. Card games really aren't my forte. Let's put it that way. It's worth $10.99. It's not necessarily something I'm going to be playing anytime soon. I'm not really on for card games. I'm if you watch my Witcher 3 playthrough, you'll see that I just avoid the card game in it completely. I'm not interested in card games. I can't really play card games. It's not something I want to do. So overall, it's one that I'm probably not going to play anytime soon. Let's put it that way. It looks interesting enough, but it's not something that sort of makes me go ooh, and ooh, I want to play that. Trying to be as less camp as possible. Right, as we said, Arks Survival Evolved is actually worth $22.99. Early access game, survival game, open world, so pretty much like similar to Grav. It's done far better than Grav, let's put it that way. It involves dinosaurs, tribes. You basically sort of I suppose in a way I was going to say Daisy with or DayZ depending on your locality esque thing where you sort of wake up naked on a island, and there's dinosaurs that you can tame and breed and train and do all kinds of weird and wonderful things. Some people have actually asked me to play this previously. I've thought about it. I might do at some point, but because it's quite a multiplayer-esque sort of game where you coordinate and compare things, I just feel I wouldn't have the time to dedicate to it, because I only get so much time to play games at the moment, and I'd want to spend time playing it, if that makes sense. And I also get bored quite quickly with certain things, so unless it keeps my attention going, it's going to be one of those things I sort of fizzle out quite quick. So it's good in the sense of it's a good deal, but it's not necessarily something I would instantly say I want to buy that because I'm really interested in it. That's just my opinion, but a lot of people like it. I will see how it goes. Now, moving on straight into what's the Humble Original. Now, if you don't know what that is, they started doing this since last month, where basically they get an indie developer to create a game for the actual monthly bundle that is only available in the Humble monthly bundle. And this month it's something called Battle Sloths. It's sort of I'm going to say it's a cross between Bomberman and some other game where you basically run around and shoot people in a sort of 2D-esque arena game thing. You basically are able to play other people, it says 4 human players, or play against AI. Whether that means it's local multiplayer or online multiplayer, I don't know. That's not actually made clear. I might actually find out one day, because I might start doing a feature where I actually play the Humble monthly indie game just to give it a go. But we'll see how that idea goes anyway. Essentially, it's an arena shooter. You run around, you shoot your enemies, you collect pizza, and you try and survive. It looks like an extremely action-packed kind of game. It looks like lots of fun, and maybe keep an eye on my channel. Maybe I'll actually play it one day. Who knows? Finally, we've got a game called Switch Cars, which is the actual debut of this actual game on Steam. It's only recently come out on Steam. It's an early access game pixel art game, which you can see here from based on the picture, where you're basically always on the run from aliens. They've come to Earth and they're constantly chasing after you. So you have to change from vehicle to vehicle, from cars to boats to planes to helicopters to jet skis to pretty much any kind of vehicle that you can imagine is in this game. And you're constantly on the run, constantly trying to escape from aliens. You constantly have to switch vehicles, hence the name, switch cars. And you basically have to keep going until you reach the year 2055. It looks like it's got lots of stunts, lots of action. It looks a lot of fun, let's put it that way. Again, something I may just play for the sheer hell of it at some point. I actually didn't check to see how much it was on Steam. That's a good point, actually. I will have a quick look over here, see if I can find out. Bear with us. Switch cards is $5.39. There you go. Easy as that. So definitely worth a look at, just for the sheer hell of it. And that's it. That's all 8 parts of the 8 games of in the actual bundle. Now, as always, as fairly recently, they tantalize you with the actual games, a game from the actual bundle from next month. This month, they've actually done 2 of them. Now, we've got This War of Mine, which, admittedly, I don't know a great deal about. I will actually double check this again, because I didn't check it beforehand. This War of Mine. Oh, there you go. Yeah, $14.99 is actually my wish list, which is good. And South Park, which is $23.99 still on Steam. Now, This War of Mine, obviously, as you probably figured out, is on my wish list, and I have no real knowledge of it. South Park, I have played, and I can say for what it is, it's an exceptionally well-made RPG set in the South Park universe. It's really funny. If you're a big fan of South Park, then, or have been a fan of South Park, you'll enjoy it because it has lots of references to the TV show, lots of references to the film, and you know, if you don't believe me, check out my playthrough or any other playthrough, and you'll see just how funny it is in some ways. As always, it is for charity, so as always, you're doing something good for the world, of course. And overall, that's about it for the Humble Monthly Bundle. Now, as I said before, let me know what you think. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe, all that kind of jazz. I'm always willing to listen to other people's opinions and argue any points that need to be made. And that is my general review of the Humble Monthly Bundle for March. Now, and that's it. So I'm going to go back and edit the video so you don't see my email address at the top of the video because I scrolled up too far. But until next time, guys, thank you for watching. I will see you again for another review video soon, probably.